Let's now take you straight across to Tel Aviv. My colleague Amritpal Singh is joining us from there, and also with us is Nicole Priel. She's partner IBEX Investors, resident of Tel Aviv. Welcome to DD India, Nicole. First, if I could ask you, Amrit, how is the situation being seen right now in terms of what's happening on the border of Israel and Gaza?
Well, the situation is pretty bad. The military campaign is on full steam. Last night was a night of heavy bombing. Israel continued to pound areas and hit the Gaza Strip by artillery fire. If you believe the Hamas authorities, they bombed a church and several people were killed in that. One of the top Politburo members of Hamas, a lady by the name of Jamila Shanti, an important political figure in the Hamas network, one of the founders, killed, her family killed. Yesterday, one of their top military commanders was killed. So continuous firing, continuous bombing of the Gaza Strip is going on. Whereas the Hamas is also retaliating. It is not letting up its fire. It's continuously firing rockets into Israel. It is firing rockets, in various cities, almost at the frequency of every 30 seconds. A rocket lands in Israel. Many of them are neutralized in the air by the dome system, but some of them manage to hit targets. But of course, nothing compared to what the Israeli bombing is, because the Israelis, we know, are a military might, and so that is where things stand. On the Lebanon border, things are again hotting up. There is intermittent fire from both sides. They fire into they hit rockets into the Israeli territory, and the Israeli army says it retaliates back. They have evacuated all villages along the Lebanese border. About 5 kilometers away from the border has been declared a military zone, and constant evacuation is on. Meanwhile, Israel is also hitting targets in West Bank. There are said to be about 81 people who have been killed over the past 5 days in West Bank. Last night, Palestinian authorities, health ministry says that a refugee camp was attacked in a place called Nur Shams. A refugee camp was attacked, and some people, 3 people, including children, died in that. So that is what things on the war front are. Gautam?
Right. Just stay with us, Amrit. Let me also bring in Nicole here. Nicole, you're a resident of Tel Aviv. We've heard sirens even when we've been connected with Amritpal going off in Tel Aviv due to the Hamas's rocket attacks, which have been foiled largely due to the Iron Dome, but some have been hitting home, as Amritpal also informed us. So, in the event of this incursion, what do you feel will be the fate of the people of Israel as well as that of Palestine?
So the Israeli people are incredibly resilient, and everyone is united in this fight against terror, both within Israel and within the free world globally. We are anticipating that it's going to be quite a lengthy and difficult ground incursion, but we are prepared and ready for the long run to eliminate terror once and for all on our borders.
And in terms of what the global expectation has been, we've seen President Biden also coming in and saying that relief trucks should be allowed in the south. There might be fighting on in the north. We might see some trucks going in the south, but that will hardly be adequate.
We apologize for any loss of civilian life and any suffering for the Gazan people. Unfortunately, the Gazan people elected Hamas as their government, and Hamas has taken every opportunity, every dollar of aid, all the infrastructure that was left in Gaza, and turned it into rockets. Somehow, Gaza is running out of every supply except for rockets. So we do hope that they get the supplies that they need for their civilians, and that we can minimize casualties on both sides.
And how would that be possible if there's fighting that is taken even further? Because what we've seen even in the last of course of few hours is that the fighting is only intensified further without even the tanks and the troops going in to Gaza.
That's correct. This is a war that Israel didn't want, didn't look for, and didn't start. Unfortunately, it'll have to fight through the end. we do hope that the Egyptian side will be amenable to bringing in aid to civilians in Gaza.
All right. Nicole, thank you for joining us. Let me go back to Amritpal. Amritpal, in terms of how things are developing, it is clear that a lot of people are quite certain that this is the course to take for Israel, despite the kind of international pressure from the UN, from other world bodies and countries. They're saying that there should be a ceasefire immediately, but that is not what Israel is looking for at the moment.
Absolutely not. There is no question of a ceasefire from the Israeli side. Right now, as you heard Nicole also, if you read between the lines, the sentiment that prevails here is one of reprisal, one of retribution amongst the common people. So Benjamin Netanyahu, is a politician by the end of the day. He has to understand, he will do what his people want him to do. So that is the sentiment. There is no question of ceasefire. The IDF may have a military objective to finish Hamas, but they want to hit Hamas hard. They publicly say they want to decimate Hamas, finish it, and as Nicole was saying, it's a fight to the finish. That is the sentiment that prevails here. But I think, talking about it from a military point of view, the IDF would know that it's easier said than done. Hamas are guerrilla fighters. It's not a regular army. They cannot hunt each one down. Many of them may not have picked up the gun, but could be sympathizers of Hamas. And the more you pound them, more people pick up guns. So finishing Hamas may not be possible. And I think what their strategy, in my assessment, would be keep hitting Hamas infrastructure, weaken them considerably, then see what the situation is. My understanding is, though they've amassed huge amount of trucks and RT equipment, heavy military equipment, tanks, etc., but ground assault from a sheer military point of view would be counterproductive. They will have to go in for the special operations teams, small operations teams, go in, execute, come out fast, because they have hostages with them. If the civilian casualties rise, there will be international pressure, but the sentiment here is of retribution, reprisal, so there is no question of this war ending anytime soon, Gautam.
All right, you did mention the hostages, and the question again remains hanging in the air as to what about their fate if the ground incursion gets underway. Back-channel talks were set to be taking place. President Biden also referred to them when he was in Tel Aviv, but I don't know what will be the fate of those talks once the incursion gets underway. Thanks a lot for the moment, Joy, for joining us. Amritpal Singh from Tel Aviv, as well as Nicole. Now, according to the Palestinian